The entire supply chain just stops.
Exactly. YHauz 2.0 is pitching something entirely different. They call it component construction. The source specifically contrasts YHauz component construction directly against modular construction. Think of it less like shipping a finished room and much more like shipping a very advanced industrial-grade erector set.
So it's essentially high-end flat packing.
Yes, exactly. But high-end is the keyword. The source calls it a mass production design with owner self-assembly. This completely changes the logistics model for investors. You don't need a gigafactory to build these. You just need the raw components, the steel beams, the insulated panels, the mechanical connectors.
And they pack flat.
Right. You can fit an entire house on a standard flatbed truck because everything is dense and stacked, no shipping empty air.
That completely democratizes the supply chain. You could have a partner manufacture the steel beams in one state, the exterior panels in another, and just kit them together at a distribution center.
And that leads us straight to the physical skeleton of this house. The deck prominently mentions an exposed steel frame.
Yes, I love this visual.
Yeah.
We aren't hiding the bones of the house behind sheets and drywall.
No, and that is a highly functional choice just as much as an aesthetic one. By utilizing an exposed steel frame, you are prioritizing absolute durability and honesty in your materials. You can literally see the structure holding you up. You know it's solid. And steel doesn't rot. Termites do not eat steel beams.
It sounds incredibly industrial.
It is, but that links directly back to that sovereign concept they're pushing. If you want a household that lasts generationally, that can take a beating, that can survive a major flood or a severe storm without molding from the inside out, you build with steel. Wood is organic. It actively wants to decompose. Steel is forever, practically speaking.
Okay, so here is where it gets really interesting for the prospective buyer. We talked about owner self-assembly, and I can definitely hear you, the listener, thinking, wait, I have to build my own steel house. I can barely assemble a bookshelf from IKEA without having a total meltdown.
It's a fair concern.
But the pitch deck has a built-in solution for that, and it is my absolute favorite part of this entire deep dive.
The crane.
The crane. The source explicitly states YHauz ships with a free crane for owners to keep.
It is such a brilliant, disruptive move.
It's wild. Who just gives you a crane?
Think about the biggest barrier to entry for building something of this scale. It is heavy lifting, literally. Why don't everyday people build their own homes? It's not just a lack of engineering knowledge, it's the sheer physics of it. You, as a human being, cannot lift a 500-pound steel beam.
Right, you need a crew.
By including the specific tool necessary to lift those heavy steel components in the box, they're completely removing the physical limitation of the individual owner.
It's like buying a printer and it actually coming with a full ink cartridge, but on a massive industrial scale.
A little bigger than that, yeah. But let's really look at the psychology here, because that's what the investors are betting on. If I sell you a traditional house, you live in it, you consume it. If I sell you a house and I give you a crane, I'm giving you the power to change it.
That is the absolute key right there. The crane isn't just for day one of the build.
Exactly. The source emphasizes for owners to keep. This implies that the house is never actually finished in the traditional sense of the word. It is a living platform. 10 years down the line, you have a kid and want to add a room, you have the crane, you want to move a wall or build a garage, you still have the crane. It empowers the owner to maintain and expand the structure themselves forever.
It transitions you from being a mere consumer of a housing product to being the active manager of a facility.
Precisely. And that philosophy aligns perfectly with the other structural design features mentioned in the deck. They talk about flexible interior partitions hanging on the interior frame elements and a replaceable exterior.
Let's break those down. Hanging partitions.
If the interior walls are hanging on the steel frame rather than being structurally load-bearing or glued and nailed into place, you can move them. Think about a modern commercial office building. The cubicle walls aren't holding up the roof, the steel columns are, so you can easily reconfigure the office layout over a weekend. YHauz is bringing that commercial modular logic directly into the residential home.
So if today you need a nursery, but tomorrow you need a home office, it's not a big deal.
In a traditional wood house that is a massive, messy demolition project, you are tearing down studs, rerouting electrical wires, making incredible amounts of dust. In YHauz 2.0, with your personal crane and your flexible partitions, it's just a reconfiguration project. You unhook the panel, you move it, you rehook it.
And then there's the replaceable exterior. That's the actual skin of the house.
Right. If a massive hailstorm damages your siding, or let's say technology improves, and there's a much better insulating panel available in 5 years, you just swap out the skin. You don't tear down the house to upgrade it.
So the structure itself, The
Mm.
steel skeleton is essentially permanent, but the skin and the guts are entirely modular and changeable.
Which again is exactly how commercial skyscrapers are built. They are bringing skyscraper engineering logic to the single-family residential market.
It feels a lot like Legos, just very heavy steel Legos.
But Legos you can actually live in, and that ability to self-assemble and self-repair is totally central to the whole idea of the sovereign household. You aren't calling an expensive general contractor for every little change. You literally own the means of construction.
I really love that concept. Okay, so we have the structural bones, we have the free crane, we have the flexible hanging walls. Now let's talk about what actually makes this machine run. Part 2, the nano infrastructure and utility stack.
This is where the technology part of Livable Technology Platform really comes into play for those tech partners.
The source uses this very specific phrase: stylish exposed conduit electrical plumbing and HVAC nano infrastructure. That is a serious mouthful.
It is a lot of buzzwords. Let's parse it out.
Exposed conduit. Once again, we're seeing this recurring theme of visibility. Nothing is hidden away behind the walls.
Right, think about a normal house again. If an electrical wire shorts out or a plumbing pipe bursts, what do you have to do?
You panic.
You panic, then you get a sledgehammer, you smash open the drywall, you try to find the leak, you fix it, then you have to hire someone to patch the wall texture, paint it, and hope the color matches. It's a total nightmare. It creates massive anxiety for homeowners.
It's basically the I hate drywall philosophy.